Hey everyone, it is Beggles back again with an upcoming game video. And this time we're looking into the RPG games coming to Steam in 2025. Now, I'm a bit of an optimist when it comes to release dates, so there's quite a few big TBA games here worth having on your radar. Also, quick shout out to my January Ko-Fi donator, Badger XD. I appreciate you and am looking forward to trying out your new game. But let's start with a very stylish Hyperlight Breaker from Hearth Machine. This action RPG game has a big focus on creating builds in a title that lets you play alone or through in cooperative play. You play in the new world Overgrowth and experience a unique story set within a land in disarray. I bet that's not the last time I say that in this video, with procedurally generated worlds to play through leading to interesting build paths and replayability. Definitely feels like this is on the looter adventure side of the RPG spectrum. Eitr, and there's a good chance I'm saying that wrong, is a gritty pixel art RPG game set within a Norse mythology inspired world. This is an action-based RPG game with a large emphasis on combat mechanics as you play through as a shield maiden, tackling some, well, pretty scary looking enemies. The shield maiden gets to venture into worlds influenced by the god Loki and utilize randomly generated loot, and a favor leveling up system to progress through the storyline. Eitr is definitely a mature style RPG game that looks to tell a pretty dark and fascinating story. Come Deliverance was such a well-loved medieval RPG game, and the sequel offers us perhaps the first big RPG, if not gaming release of the year. Once again set within medieval Europe, this mature style game has you playing as Henry, embarking on an adventure through very large lands, with a whole lot of warfaring occurring, in the name of avenging his murdered parents. Anyone who has played the original will speak of the fantastic first-person combat system and just the huge scope of the world, characters and storyline. Come Deliverance II has a lot to live up to, and I'll be watching this launch with a lot of curiosity. Moving on to another first-person based RPG game, Avowed by Obsidian Entertainment and Xbox Game Studios hits Steam in early February. This game lets you play through living lands set within a world explored previously in Pillars of Eternity. You are sent to investigate a plague that is corrupting the living lands, and look to explore the ancient secrets that could destroy pretty much everything. There's some nice first-person combat here, alongside very interesting looking magic elements, and the ability to mix and match different weapons and spells. It doesn't look like the most unique RPG game that I've ever seen, but it definitely looks fun. AI Limit is a post-apocalyptic RPG game set within a very dour-looking sci-fi style futuristic world. You play as Arrisa, a blader that has immortality, and explore the last city as Havenswell, which just happens to be the home of some pretty warped, technologically looking enemies. AI Limit mixes exploration of this large city with Souls-like combat in a challenging RPG game that has some very cool-looking anime-style visuals. A bit darker than the earlier mentioned Hyperlight RPG, AI Limit has many weapons to utilize alongside spells that you can throw at enemies, and a storyline that looks familiar yet intriguing. AI Limit is currently set to be releasing towards the end of March this year. If you watch my Metroidvania video, you will know that I'm suckered in by pixel art, and I'm a big fan of turn-based game. So I'm throwing Threads of Time here, in what I think is one of the more stunning looking trailers that you will see from any game on this list. From Rio and Humble Games, Threads of Time allows you to play as a party of heroes that spans across the ages, uncovering a storyline that includes time traveling and alternate realms. We're talking from dinosaur times into the future here. Threads of Time has a wonderful looking visuals and animations in a game that allows you to take on strategic turn-based fights. And I feel like it's paying respect to classic titles of the past whilst providing visuals and aesthetic that's pretty next level. As I said, I'm sucked in by pretty pixel art, but I'm definitely watching this game across 2025. This one's rated for mature gamers, so look away if that's not you. The first Berserker is a hardcore action RPG game with a whole lot of action and a fair amount of blood shown across the trailers. This is a hack and slash style RPG in which you will play through some intense boss battles in what promises to be a very challenging game. You play as the great General Khazan, who is accused of treason and goes on a journey of revenge in this dark fantasy style world. The first Berserk, Khazan, is based on the Dungeon Fighter Online universe, and I have to admit I've not played that, but it definitely is the most aggressive looking title we've got in this RPG video. SHOWA American Story could well be the quirkiest and most interesting RPG game coming out this year, stated for an end of 2025 release, if they manage to pull it off. It's an alternate timeline style story in which the United States has been bought by Japan, and hence our main character, a teenager revived from the dead, gets to explore an America that has a lot of Japanese style pop culture references. It's quite absurd at times, but also stylistically very cool. SHOWA American Story is set within a post-apocalyptic world with zombies and monsters, alongside humans to interact with. It contains free-flowing and fast-paced action mechanics with a number of different ranged and melee weapons to use. I wouldn't be surprised if this one gets delayed, but I love the fact they're attempting something different to what we usually see. Another, let's say, comedic genre mashup, and with possibly the longest name you can imagine. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii tells a story of an ex-Yakuza who just happens to wash up on an island and becomes a pirate captain. Makes sense. This very over-the-top story leads you to crazy pirate cities full of rich characters, with action-packed, pretty humorous battles to engage with, both on land and aboard your pirate ship. There's a large range of game content here, and definitely not a game that's meant to be taken too seriously. This one is set for a late February release. The Wayward Realms is a familiar-looking RPG game with some links to Elder Scrolls and Dagger's Fall. This open-world RPG uses first-person perspective and aims to give players the chance to mold the experience depending on the choices that you make, on a scope that we've never seen before. Big promises, and in a style of RPG that is screaming out for another game to knock this system out of the park. The Wayward Realms are a set of over 100 huge islands with different factions to interact with. You have the chance to choose who will be enemy and who will be friend, and of course change the course of the storyline. There's some very cool looking scope here, but also AI generated content with characters and quests, so be wary. I feel like I could get some flack here for genre and release date, but Light No Fire looks so good I'm going ahead with it anyway. Made by Hello Games, developers for No Man's Sky, this survival-based RPG game lets you play through a pretty stunning looking world alongside friends exploring a fantasy-based world, which is promised to be very, very big. I'm a bit skeptical about launch promises from these types of titles though. Light No Fire allows you endless possibility in terms of exploration, with mountains to climb, oceans to sail, and fantastic creatures to live alongside and of course fly upon as well. There are 11 RPG games to watch in 2025, and while some are likely to feature here again in a 2026 video, there's a good range to put on your wish list. Let me know if there's anything you think I've missed, and which titles you will be most looking forward to playing this year. If you watched this far, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe and like, as YouTube prioritizes videos with those interactions. Thank you for watching.